everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our series in November on veterans. Today I'm going to take you around Uptown Charlotte and show you some important sites that are relative to a man named Mr. Thomas Polk and tell you everything I know about him. Let's go.
In October, I brought the vlog to the historic Old Settlers Cemetery and showed the gravesite of Thomas Polk. But in today's video, I'd like to give a little biography of who he was and show some of the many historical landmarks all over Uptown Charlotte dedicated to this Revolutionary War hero. Thomas Polk was born probably in the year 1732 in Pennsylvania in a family of immigrants to the colonies from Northern Ireland. He moved to North Carolina at around the age of 20, where he married a woman named Susanna Spratt and raised 8 children with her. Thomas had a combination of personal character qualities and a relatively superior education, and he quickly achieved a position of leadership in his new community. He worked as a planter until 1765, when he participated in the War of Sugar Creek, a rather violent skirmish where local settlers took up arms against large private landowners who were speculating on real estate in the area that has now become Charlotte. After the conflict, Polk was given positions such as Justice of the Peace for the county and as Commissioner for the new town of Charlotte, and he also served as a land agent in the newly created Mecklenburg County. He built a home place right in the center of the developing community. He went on to serve in the North Carolina House of Commons and was appointed as a captain of the militia. He also served as a surveyor of the border between North and South Carolina. Thomas Polk was among the residents and officials of Mecklenburg County who drafted and adopted the Mecklenburg Resolves document on May 31, 1775, a document which called for the reorganization of colonial government and declared the laws enforced by the British Crown to be null and void. Polk was then elected a member of the 3rd North Carolina Provincial Congress, which established a government in the absence of royal governance. He participated as a colonel of the Patriot Militia. When he was appointed as colonel of the 4th North Carolina Regiment of the Continental Line, Polk marched north in early 1777 and fought with his unit at the Battle of Brandywine before wintering at Valley Forge with George Washington's main army. In September of that year, knowing British forces were about to occupy Philadelphia, Polk was assigned to escort a baggage train containing the city's bells, which included the Liberty Bell, from Philadelphia to safety in Allentown. In February 1778, Polk returned to North Carolina to recruit more soldiers for the Continental Army. He resigned his position in June of that year, aggrieved when he was passed over for a promotion to brigadier general. He lost his command of the 4th North Carolina Regiment when it was combined with the 2nd Regiment, so he again returned to civil life briefly. However, in 1780, he accepted 2 commissions with the Continental Army, first as Commissary General of Purchases for both the state of North Carolina and the Continental Army in the Southern Theater. When Nathaniel Greene assumed command of the Continental Army in the Southern Theater, he met with Polk for an extended time on Greene's first night in the Army camp in order to become familiar with the region's resources. Polk also acted as commissary for the Salisbury District, one of North Carolina's militia recruiting divisions. When Lord Charles Cornwallis invaded the state, Polk was active in the resistance, often using his personal assets and credit to provide supplies for the Patriot cause. When controversy arose over the propriety of his practices in obtaining supplies and credit, he again resigned but continued to work with General Nathaniel Greene, who held Polk in high esteem. Greene appointed Polk as brigadier general in early 1781. A summary of Thomas Polk's military service record would be Colonel of the Mecklenburg County Regiment of the North Carolina Militia in 1775, Colonel over the 2nd Battalion of Salisbury District Minutemen, North Carolina State Troops from 1775 to 1776, Colonel over the 4th North Carolina Regiment, Continental Line from 1776 to 1778, and Commissary General for the North Carolina line in 1780. In 1783 to 1784, Thomas Polk was elected to the North Carolina Council of State, which assisted the governors in performing their executive duties. In 1786, the General Assembly elected Polk as a delegate to the Third Continental Congress. Thomas Polk accommodated President George Washington overnight in his home during Washington's 1791 tour of the Southern states. Polk died at his Charlotte home in 1794, somewhere around the age of 61 to 62. He is buried in the Old Settlers Cemetery, which is the final resting place of many of the earliest founders of the city of Charlotte and signers of the Mecklenburg Resolves document. Thomas Polk is the great-uncle of the 11th President of the United States, James K. Polk.
Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed researching Mr. Thomas Polk and bringing you everything that I learned in this video. I will see you another day in another adventure. Bye everybody.